Good morning, everyone. It's around 30 minutes after midnight on Saturday, September 20th. I'm out here in the truck, letting it warm up a little bit, checking the lights and stuff on the trailer, because getting ready to go out to pick up a '07 retired frito-lay cargo van. I bought it at an auction, and be going to Murphy, North Carolina this morning. It's going to be about a 6-hour trip, and I'm going to put it on the 28-foot gooseneck, the tilt bed trailer. It should fit. I may have to take off the outer duals to make it work. I'll know better once I get to it and start taking some measurements, but I think what I'm going to have to do is take off the outer duals. That way I can fit it on my bed and not have any overhang on it, and shouldn't have any interference issues with the fenders back there by taking the outer duals off. I'll probably have to pull it nearly all the way up in order to get it on the trailer, but I'll know better when we get there. Samantha will be going with me. I'll try to set up the camera and tripod and stuff once I get up there. But the van, I bought it off of Iron Planet Auction, or also Ritchie Brothers. They're all the same company. I got the van for, the bid was $510 that I won it for, $100 auction fee. I don't remember what the title fee was. I think it was like $115. So it was somewhere around $725, I think was roughly what it was together for the van, plus a $25 wire transfer fee through my bank, which I do get refunded. We got here to the van maybe somewhere around 7 o'clock. Got a dead battery on it. Has more miles than I was expecting. The listing didn't show anything about the mileage because they didn't have the key. It's got 210,000 miles on it. I was hoping for somewhere maybe around 150 like some of the other ones I saw listed, but I've already checked the oil, and like I mentioned, the battery was dead, so I got the dually over there helping charge it. I'm gonna try to crank it, see what happens. Yeah, have to let it charge a little bit more. You gonna smile for YouTube?
No. That's a lot.
made it back at around 7 o'clock last night. You see the van still here on the trailer. It's not in horrible shape. I did notice in the pictures that had some damage, and it's back there mainly at the back, but I could have pulled it up a little bit more and possibly tie it into either the front stake pocket or this one here. I didn't want to bring it up too much because I didn't want to have too much weight up front. I really don't know where the mass of the weight is on this thing. You got the engine here, but you got all the body back here. I probably could have pulled it up where that rear tire is probably about the center of my axles, and it would have been fine, but trailer still felt like it did okay, so I don't think it was anything that was way off on the weight. I didn't go across a scale or anything to check my weight, but looking at the tires and anything like that, I don't think anything was overloaded. But I took off the outer duals because I wasn't sure exactly how far I was going to have to bring this thing up. If I would have brought it up to the second one there or the front one, I know for sure the tires would have been interfering with my fenders, and I wouldn't want to be riding down the road with it sitting on my fender, not having that support bar in there. We could have left the tires on the back and probably just put a 4x4 post back here. It still probably would have been sitting on this fender a little bit, but it shouldn't have been to a point to where it would have been pushing this or bending it due to the weight and pushing it into the tire, but I didn't want to take that chance. So I just took it off before we started loading it. And we did have a challenge loading this thing. It took us from around 7 o'clock when we got there to 12 o'clock getting this thing loaded, just because of all this rear overhang you have back here. You can see from right here on my fender to the back of my trailer, I believe it's 4 feet. And you can see how much more that is that hangs over. So I think I still got them in the back of my truck. I haven't unloaded anything. So I took cut up railroad ties like that I took with me, got them underneath the tires, and we would just pull it up a little bit, take one out, move it back to the front, and kept doing that while inching it up here on the trailer. Something I was worried about, and I think I got a couple videos showing it. Right here, this is the lowest part that sits on the body. So I was worried as pulling it up, this here would interfere with the fender. So I had some 4x4 posts up here underneath the front tire while having the back underneath the blocks, and as I was pulling it up, lifting this side up. I really don't think that was necessary. I think it would have been fine without that. But as you saw, whenever I went to start it, to drive it over to the trailer, the battery was dead. So what I did is, while I was taking off the rear duals, or while we were taking them off, Samantha was helping me, while we took them off, I was letting my truck run to charge the battery on this. And right here is where the main damage is. I don't really know the best way to fix that. You see right there, the bolt's just been completely ripped out of the side there. So I could probably maybe take the bucket on the backhoe, or even the front end bucket, put a piece of steel on here, like flat steel, and help use that to push this back forward. Try to close that back up, and I'll try to re-silicone it and bolt it. I don't know how well that'll work, but I'll try it. And the way that I chained it down, I think I got my key so I can unlock my toolbox, but I bought these hooks a few years ago. There's just a cluster hook. It's a what they call a RJ and a T cluster hook. You can find them on Amazon. But apparently, I've bought a couple different sets over the years, and they're not the same. As you can see here with this one, I have my binder into this oblong hook they have here, or the oblong ring, and it fits in there just fine. But when I tried using a couple of the other ones like I have up front, you might be able to see it right there. The rings are a different size. They're not as large on these, I guess these newer ones that I bought compared to the older ones that I bought. So I could not use everything the exact same way. But all I did is I took the, let's see, that should be the T hook I have in the frame there, because let's see, that's going to be the J hook. No, I'm sorry, that's the J hook. This is the T hook, and that would be the R hook. The R hook, I stuck it into the frame, pushed it in, got one side in, got the other side in, and then turned it, and it just sits up against the frame like that. That way, as I'm pulling on it, it can't pull itself back out. Did the same thing on the other side, but all I did is I just used one 20-foot chain, did the binder trick. That way, you use one chain, two binders, still legal. Up front, I had a little bit more trouble. I didn't like doing that, but you can still see the chains into the plastic down here. But I took the T hook, and this is what that R hook looks like. Kind of looks like a claw. But the T hook, I took it, put one side in, got the other side in, and then I turned it. That way it hooks like that. It's pulling downward. And then I just run it with my 10-foot chains, one on both sides. And if I would have thought about it, I probably could have done it the same way I did on the back. Just use one single chain and get the binders a little bit more at this angle probably. And I probably wouldn't have had that issue with the bumper. I'm still learning when I'm doing things, so it's still a learning process for me. And then with the tires, I just set the rims up here, run a strap through it from one side to the other. Got some of those plastic protector things. I think I got those at Walmart quite a few years ago, probably over 4 years ago. Just put one on one side of the strap, one on this side, run it through the hole in the rim, then just pulled it over and tightened it down. And also put this little vinyl flag on the back of, I actually found it a few years ago laying on the side of the road. I believe it come off the back of a logging truck. The wooden dowel pin was broke in it. I had to cut a little slot in here to get my bungee cord in there. But I'll end up changing that out for a longer bungee cord, and I'll put it in my toolbox. And this also is a gas engine too. I knew that whenever I was looking at it online. Would have preferred to have a diesel, but you can only be so picky. Alright, so now I'm going to try unloading this thing. I got big railroad ties back there on the back underneath the trailer, so when I tilt it, the bed doesn't go all the way to the ground. And I didn't do it this way when I loaded it, so I'm going to try this just to see. When I loaded, I had 4x4 blocks in that area. I'm going to try it with a railroad tie, give me a little bit more space. Then I'll use 2 more on each side and just inch it back, take one out, move it back, take one out, move it back, see how that works. But I got it up here the front end towards the end of the tilt bed. I have wheel chocks in front of my truck just in case it should start to move. But hopefully this here will keep enough weight here. Hopefully it'll pull it. Hopefully it'll push it up. Hopefully it's not too much weight where it won't push it up. I had trouble with it trying to go down. I mean, it barely wanted to tilt down. I don't know if you could tell, but there's a lot of weight back there on the back, so it should go up pretty easy. But the bed's kind of getting a little arch in it back there at the back. My plan is to back it up some more, but I want to get some blocks down here first before I start that. The only thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep that back bumper from dragging. So I got to keep this back end lifted up as I'm backing it down off the trailer. Fan's probably going to get ready to cut off, but you see right here is what I'm doing, using these blocks. This is probably going to be hard to tell, but that bumper's barely off the ground. And unfortunately, I thought I was in a pretty level spot of the driveway, but if you look at the blocks, you can see I'm kind of downhill trying to get back uphill, so that bumper might end up scraping, but that's my fault there. And I also put a couple blocks here just so I can try to keep clearance between that. I think I'm going to be fine, but I just want to put something there just in case. I'm gonna back up a little bit more, and then I'll put that other block in place. As you can probably already tell, this is what I was saying is the aggravating part about this idle thing. Having to constantly move these blocks back and restart is a pain. really aggravating. All right, y'all get the idea of what I'm doing. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and catch you back into the next clip. All right, now I think I have enough clearance where I can start trying to ramp this thing down. I don't know how well it's going to work, but the issue I had before is that block back there that's got the cutout in it that I cut to try to make a ramp. I cut it too steep and it acts like a wheel chock instead, but I'm gonna try to take it easy, easing this van back just to see what'll happen, but I think it's just gonna try to kick it out. I probably just could have drove straight off of it, but I'm trying to take it easy. I'll find out here in a few minutes what it'll do. I don't know exactly what happened there. I think I was getting close to the edge of the block. I went to put it in park. Started to let my foot off the brake. It kept rolling, so I think it was on the edge of one of these blocks. But it's on the ground now.